Today I want to go over 6 details that you may have missed from the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay demo. Let's just get right into it. So towards the beginning of the gameplay trailer, Link is riding towards the dueling peaks. There's a good mix of familiar and unfamiliar things in this shot, but there is one particularly interesting detail on the right side of the screen. As Link rides towards the peaks, we briefly see a dialogue box that says, "I need to reach my friend." Upon closer inspection, we see it's actually a Korok, but he is out in the open with a massive backpack on. He seems to have been separated from a friend of his. Could this be the new Korok Quest? Let me know what you think. On to number 2. So we all saw Link battling the new enemy type called the Construct. We see these enemies a few times throughout the trailer, but did you know there was actually a second type of Construct revealed 2 different times during the trailer? If we slow down right here, we can briefly see this is called a Ranger Construct. We actually see another of the same type in the cave where they showed off the Ascend ability. An interesting thing to note is these creatures don't seem to immediately attack Link like the other ones do. Do you think there will be passive or even friendly Zonai Constructs as well? Let me know. On to number 3. They showed off a few of Link's new abilities during this gameplay trailer, including the one I mentioned a minute ago called Ascend, that allows you to rise and pass through any ceiling in the game, including a cave ceiling. This ability seems pretty cut and dry in the trailer, but upon closer observation, something really stood out to me. After the Construct with a fused weapon blows Link off the Sky Island, we see the ability becomes grayed out and unusable. Makes sense, right? The interesting thing, though, is as soon as Link hits the water and submerges, the ability fills back in, almost like it's usable underwater. You could maybe argue that it's just because you're not in the sky anymore, but then as soon as Link's head breaches the surface or ceiling of the water, the ability grays itself out again. Are we going to see underwater traversal back in this game? What do you think? Alright, these next 3 things get kind of crazy, so get ready. Also, if you're enjoying so far, hit subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year, so any help would be much appreciated. Alright, on to number 4. This gameplay trailer confirmed a lot of our suspicions from the previous trailer. We can build vehicles and all kinds of crazy contraptions in Tears of the Kingdom with the new Ultra Hand ability. This is going to open up so many insane possibilities in the game, but they only showed a small taste of what we could do in the gameplay. There was, however, one thing I missed on my first few viewings. If you watch the background as Link is constructing the speedboat, you can see that the logs and fans aren't the only thing that glowed, showing they were usable. These massive Zonai blocks in the background seem to be fully movable and usable as crafting material as well. These are the same blocks from earlier when Link landed on the first Sky Island. This has me super curious about the limitations on weight and scale of what we can build. Alright, now for the 2 biggest details I noticed. So number 5 relates to what I will refer to as power functions. We see Link can hit the fan with his weapon to activate it, and we're greeted with an on-screen battery readout for the fan's energy. The energy depletes fairly quickly, but when deactivated it does seem to recharge. One very interesting detail to note from this that you may have missed is that when the boat has 2 fans attached to it, it seems to have a longer battery life. The implication here is that all powered parts have a base amount of built-in energy, and when something you build has multiple of those pieces attached, it gains more power. We can take this even further looking back at the car from the previous trailer. There is a clearly visible green object attached in the back with no clear purpose, but given our assumption on how power works, it seems reasonable to say this is likely a car battery, or a battery booster if you will. This likely allows Link to take the car much further than he could if it was not attached. Another interesting detail of note is that Link can activate the fans on this raft he built here even by just hitting the sail. It seems hitting anywhere on a constructed vehicle will activate the powered parts. Also, the battery meter takes a significant hit when liftoff is achieved. I wonder if a battery pack would stop this from happening. Alright, now on to the most interesting detail. So the first few times I watched this gameplay trailer, I was focused on the main subject of the video, Link and the new abilities that he was using. But allow me to divert your attention to something else in the bottom right, the minimap. The first and most obvious change is that we now have coordinates. This will be incredible for sharing cool finds with each other and making notes of places to come back to. For the most part, the minimap doesn't show much, but in a few particular moments, there's some extremely interesting information shown in the form of icons. So at the 6:57 mark in the video, there are multiple interesting icons to look at. Firstly, we see brown caves that seem to gain a check mark when their objective is completed. The gameplay demo confirms this here as we see Link enter a cave, and the mark directly corresponds with it on the minimap. Another interesting icon seen is this blue one in the top right. It appears to also resemble a cave, but it is very distinctly different, almost resembling the old shrine map icons in Breath of the Wild. These are clearly important locations and may even be a fast travel point. It's possible they could be some form of dungeon, but we really don't know at this time. It is interesting though, the person playing is very careful to never turn and look towards one of these blue icons. The other notable icon on the map here is the battery. The icon style is similar to a shop or a stable, but it clearly shows an image of a battery. Perhaps this denotes a location of one of those car batteries or battery boosters. Maybe it's some form of recharge station. Does it have anything to do with the little vials that Link has on his belt? Who knows? The final icon I noticed can be seen at 9:54 in the video. It's right next to a shop and heavily resembles the green swirl that we've seen in various locations of the game. We still don't know exactly what these could be, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Alright, well that's everything I've got. Did you see something I missed? Let me know in the comments. Also, I just wanted to let you all know that we will be live day 1 with Tears of the Kingdom and playing for the majority of the day. This will likely turn into the longest stream I've ever done by far, so please come join in on the fun. I'm super excited for all of us to explore this massive game together. For now though, you should watch this video. I hear it's pretty cool.